This episode of the Nocturnal Disney Podcast is brought to you by Palms and Parks. They are high-quality Disney-inspired t-shirts that have cool, fun designs to help show off your love for Disney in a unique and smart way. Visit them at palmsandparks.com and check out what their store has to offer. There's something there for everyone.
I'm bringing the party to you.
Look, I really don't want to hurt you.
I wouldn't stress about it.
Give it to Ronan so he can destroy the galaxy?
What are you, some saint all of a sudden? What has the galaxy ever done for you? Why would you want to save it?
Because I'm one of the idiots who lives in it!
Peter.
You have a metal arm? That is awesome, dude!
I wear 'em front. I wear 'em back. I go inside out. Then I go front and back.
Dad! What is this thing? Look how it thinks it's so cool. It's not cool to get help. Walk by yourself, you little gargoyle.
I'm the boss. I'm Clint.
I don't care.
You couldn't have done that earlier.
I hate you.
This drink, I like it.
I know, it's great, right?
Another!
Thank you for joining me for episode 2 of the Nocturnal Disney Podcast on January 26th, 2018. My name is Bryce. I appreciate you listening. If you want to join our discussion, you can find us on Facebook. Just search the Nocturnal Disney Podcast and join our little group. You can email me at nocturnaldisney@gmail.com, and you can say something quick to me on Twitter at Disney Nocturnal. You can also find me on Instagram at the Nocturnal Disney Podcast, all separated by underscores. Tonight we're going to be talking about Antman and the Wasp, the monorail system at Walt Disney World, Club 33, and because it was a pretty light news week, me and James are going to run down our top 5 rides to ride at night. And just a real quick heads up, near the end of this top 5, James's mic kind of drops out. It gets pretty quiet. We just didn't have time to re-record before we had to get the episode out. But for now, let's just jump into it. Good morning. I'm checking in with the Midnight Report. Let's fire away. Basically, all of the information that we're going to cover tonight takes place here in Florida at the Walt Disney World Resort. So let's take a little bit of time, start out in California at the studios, and we'll go from there. Last week I spoke about how Marvel's going to be releasing Antman and the Wasp in July. It's a little bit less than about 7 months. And we haven't seen a trailer, but as you might expect, we have gotten some stills from the movie. Now, these pictures showed Antman and Wasp in full costume, and that's pretty cool, because I was really looking forward to seeing what Wasp was going to look like. Now, Ant-Man's costume is basically the same as in the first movie and in Civil War. Wasp's costume is basically the same as well, just it's a little bit different. It is getting a little bit of controversy, and it's a little bit surprising. People are really upset that it isn't as colorful in these stills as it is in the post-credit scene of Ant-Man. I mean, technically, yeah, they are right. The still image is not as colorful as the one in the movie. But is that really something to get all bent out of shape about? I mean, even in that post-credit scene, Hank Pym does say that this is an advanced prototype, which to me says it's close to being finished, but there's still a little tweaking to do. And the design of the suit is basically the same, so the only thing I can really think that people are upset about, and it's dealing with color, is the fact that the yellow portions of the armor aren't there anymore. They've been replaced by some gray carbon fiber, and that was on the abs and on the breastplate. Now, maybe that's for story reason. We don't know. Maybe the yellow was yellow because it was a certain type of plastic, and they realized, hey, maybe it's not a good idea to go into battle with plastic armor, so maybe we switched out to Kevlar. I don't know. Or maybe she just didn't want to stand out that much, so she toned it down a little bit. Or who knows, maybe the chest plates and the abs glow yellow, and in this particular shot, they're turned off. Who knows? Something like that is really little, and it's hard, in my opinion, to get upset about, because it could be for any number of reasons. It's an odd thing to complain about for sure, but it's not quite as odd as the other reason that this particular costume is getting a lot of controversy. Now, Ant-Man's suit has two breastplate armors that come together, and they're rectangular. And they kind of butt up against each other, right? And right below that, running right down the center of his body, are ab plates, and those run down to his belt. And those are red, and the rest of his suit is black. Now, the breastplates and the ab plates, they're kind of raised off of the suit a little bit. Think of any armor in a superhero movie, and that's what it looks like, that raised armor. Now, Wasp's costume does the exact same thing, except for two major differences, right? She doesn't have a belt, so the ab plates just kind of come to a point at the center and just end, and she has actual breastplates, so they're cupped armor instead of the rectangular armor. Now, look at any comic book or video game. This is pretty basic design for female armor. It's actually some of the more concealing female armor that I've seen. But because of those two small differences, the actual cupped breastplates and no belt, people are complaining that if you take the image and flip it upside down, the armor looks like a penis. And Disney is doing this on purpose to corrupt the youth of America. And how could they be so flagrant? No, that's not what's going on here. Does the armor resemble that? Yeah, a little bit. But like I said, this is pretty basic armor. It's a very common design for female armor, especially of that kind. Plus, this style of armor has been around for a long time. It's been in comics forever, but in movies, you can look back at Batman Begins back in 2005, or even X-Men back in 2000. I think Disney can be forgiven for using a design that is used regularly and accepted for the last 20 years. This, I cannot think, was in any way malicious, and I think people need to just calm down a little bit. People just, as a species, are very, very good at finding patterns when there isn't one, or there isn't one to be intended. Like, there was a very famous photo of the moon a while back, and it distinctly showed a face coming out of the surface of the moon. And people just, I know it's a face 100%. It can be nothing else but a face. And then we found out that it was craters that just so happened to be in a very, very convincing formation to make it look like a face. So things can happen, especially like that, on accident. So maybe we can all just calm down a little bit. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, no more movie news for this week. Instead, let's jump over to Walt Disney World, where the words,
"Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas,"
have never been more important. On January 9th, the red monorail went from the Ticket and Transportation Center to Epcot, and guests got to enjoy a really nice breeze while the wind rushed in from the gaping hole in the side of the monorail. The doors just didn't shut. And I am in no way saying that what happened was a good thing. But honestly, if this was going to happen, it's better that it happened going between the TTC and Epcot than it would have been between the TTC and Magic Kingdom, because the monorail hits a pretty sharp embankment when it comes out of the Contemporary. Now, I'm not saying this is good, like I said, but it could have been worse. It could have been much worse. That'd have been terrifying. Just imagine someone who wasn't expecting that bank, they're not holding on to the rails, and they just get thrown out of the car. That would have been horrible. This whole story sounds kind of like a perfect storm of events for the monorail system, right? The doors have sensors on them that tell the pilot if any of them aren't completely shut. And those sensors are supposed to prevent the train from leaving if, again, the doors aren't shut. Plus, if there is any situation at all, there is a phone in each one of the cabins that you can call the captain and talk to him. But none of this stuff worked. Obviously, I mean, if it did, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. This is not okay. This needs to be addressed and fixed because now Disney publicly knows that there's an issue. Odds are they knew about the problems well in advance of anything like this actually happening, but they just didn't do anything about it. So, what they have done since this has happened is they went and put stickers up telling guests, hey, it may not be the best idea to lean on the doors. I don't think they are, but it almost sounds like Disney is blaming someone for leaning against the door, and that's why it's opened. Again, I don't think that's what's happening here, but I can definitely see where people could misconstrue it that way. Like I said, there's been a few different problems with the current fleet of monorails, and I'm gonna get into the history of the monorails in the next few weeks here, and we're gonna talk about it more then. So, shifting gears, I have looked and looked and looked, but I cannot find anything in terms of the benefits of being a member of Club 33. Now, I'm sure the benefits are vast and profound, but I couldn't find anything written down for sure, so I don't want to say. But I do know that they can eat at the club, and it's supposed to be one of the best meals on property. You can also use the club for special events, like birthdays and anniversaries and whatnot, and it's obviously super exclusive, but I have great news. If you live in the Golden Oak community on Walt Disney World property, then you will be receiving your applications to join the East Coast Club 33. That's right. The initial registration cost is roughly $25,000. Not $2,500, $25,000. As with any membership, though, there are obviously dues that you have to pay every year, and it's just a meager $15,000. No biggie. Disney wants to open up Club 33 locations in all 4 of the parks. Where exactly? They haven't said, but a few rumors have kind of been floating around. Like, they've been talking about the back half of Tiffin's at Animal Kingdom and the old Catwalk Bar at Hollywood Studios. But again, that's just conjecture. They did specify, though, the East Coast Club 33. I don't know if there'll be 2 separate organizations or what the deal is, but Disney is separating them. My guess is that your membership would be for Walt Disney World only. Again, that's just conjecture on my part.
And now, our feature presentation.
Hello there, my name is Bryce. I'm sitting here with my buddy James.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen.
Want to go ahead and say hello to everybody. But what we're going to do tonight is we're going to do a top 5 list for rides at night. So what's going to happen is I'm going to give my top 5. James is going to give his top 5. We're going to go back and forth, have a conversation. And then at the end of the show, we're going to take those 2 lists and consolidate them into one list for the top 5 list of the show. All right? So James, do you want to start?
Sure thing, brother.
All right, man. Go ahead and give us a number 5.
Because I'm such a loser, anybody that knows me knows that I fall asleep way too much because I probably have narcolepsy or something is wrong with me, or I have some like magnesium deficiency. So I'm gonna go with the People Mover, which is a weird pick. However,
that's good.
It's partially air conditioned.
Yeah.
It's like 10 or 15 minutes long, and you can easily fall asleep on it.
Yeah. And there's very little weight, which is very good.
There isn't a wait. You
like,
literally
just let them keep going. Just let them nap.
When we were there on our anniversary, the girl just saw us laughed and said, "Do you want to go on again?" And we're like, "Yeah." She's like, "There's literally nobody in line. You guys can ride this as many times as you want."
Nice.
We rode it 3 times. Yeah.
No, that's a great pick, man. All right. So my number 5 is the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train because it's partially inside. If it was all outside, I think it would have been higher up on my list. But because the main portion of that ride is inside the mine shaft.
That's actually my number 2.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Have you been on it at night?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's fun. It's awesome.
It's actually really, really cool.
I almost like the queue for the mine train ride at night better than I like the ride.
Yeah, the waiting in line on that ride is actually really, really cool. It goes by very fast. I don't care if it's a 50-minute wait. I'll wait on it. It feels like it goes by about 20 minutes. Whatever it says on the marquee, that's something that people that have never gone to Disney don't always understand. Even though it might say 50 minutes, 9 times out of 10 it's probably going to be 25 to 35 minutes. Yeah. Sometimes it is going to be exactly 50 minutes. It's probably going to be for Rock and Roller Coaster, though.
Yeah, like when I went on the Frozen ride, Frozen Forever.
That said
after,
50 minutes for us. We waited 35.
It said 60 for me. I got through in 20. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I like that ride, though, man. The Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is so much fun.
It's so quiet and smooth. There is nothing that quiet.
I know. And what I like even more about it, I think, at night is when you're coming out of the mine shaft, the sun's not out. So it's not blinding.
Yeah.
Because that transition, the same way I feel about Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, is when you come out of that shaft at the very beginning, the transition from being inside to outside is so drastic and sharp that it works really well. I like this ride a lot. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
I couldn't agree with you more.
All right, so James, what's your number 4, man?
I'm going to go with Peter Pan. You're going to ask why?
Yeah,
it's
I was.
Because
It's
there's
all inside.
nobody in line, but you have to go on it while the fireworks are going on. Yes, you're going to miss the fireworks, but they show them twice, I believe, right? Sometimes, depending if you're lucky.
Yeah.
But if you get in the Peter Pan ride, when the fireworks are going on, generally everybody splits and goes and, like, they're kind of mesmerized by the fireworks or the electric light parade, which I'm crying that it's gone.
Not yet.
Almost.
October 9th.
So, yeah, Peter Pan, long, crappy ride line. I do love going through the line queue now. I'm so happy they changed it. It's really cool. If you haven't seen it, definitely go on it. It's worth not skipping the line and doing the fast passes.
Yeah, it is really, really cool now.
It's very unique.
Absolutely. That's a perfect way to say it. It's very unique. With the shadows and the way you can interact with the shadows.
If you love Peter Pan as much as I do, which that's pretty much my favorite Disney movie.
Is it really?
It is. I love it. Okay. I've seen it too many times. I'm a loser. So, yeah. You actually go through their nursery, and Disney's just awesome at making things believable and unique.
Yeah. When the first time I went through that with the new queue, and we went through the nursery, I was like, "This is really cool. I like this."
And then you start interacting.
And then you start interacting. But then when you go into the next room and they're actually dropping fairy dust on you, I was like, "Oh, bravo! Awesome. Bravo! You did this really well. Like, that's awesome."
And you even go through, like, their backyard and stuff like that.
I love that.
It's cool. I mean, there's not really another ride that kind of does that. So, but I'm sure they'll probably follow suit with more rides along the line.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think that we're kind of seeing that. Like, they even started that with Midway Mania.
Yeah.
Where you have all of... It's not interactive at all, actually. But you have all of the giant toys in there. You have the Mr. Potato Head talking to you and stuff like that.
They took him out.
I know. He's gone. I don't know why.
I think I know why. Because they added that extra track, so you would have more riders.
Mm-hmm.
So it was taking up too much space, so they took him out. They'll probably put him in somewhere else.
Yeah, it's hard to...
He's a big space.
What if they had him as like the greeter to Toy Story Land when that opened?
They could definitely do that.
I cannot imagine them building that and then just getting rid of it.
Must have cost a lot of money.
You'd think. My number 4 is in Tomorrowland. It's the Astro Orbiters.
I've never been on it.
You've never been on the Astro Orbiters?
I've never been on it.
Why?
Because I can't do spinny rides.
Okay, that's fair.
Sorry.
No, I
can't do the teacups. Last time I went on teacups, I almost threw up. My significant other has thrown up, which is a really funny story when she told it to me. She threw up in the bushes and
Nice.
Good time.
The reason I like the Astro Orbiters so much is because you're up so high.
It's pretty high up.
I believe
70 feet.
Is it that tall?
I believe so.
It's the second tallest building in Magic Kingdom aside
from
from
elevator, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool ride.
Yeah, it's awesome. But you're up and you're just spinning around, and it's at night. You can see all the lights. It's all lit up. It looks awesome. The castle, the way they have the castle lit up, if you get on it at the right time, you can actually watch the castle show going on as you're spinning around on this ride. It's so cool.
I've never seen that.
You've never seen the castle ride? You've never seen the castle show?
No, I've seen the castle show.
Oh.
I haven't been on the
From
ride.
Astro Orbiters.
It probably looked pretty sweet.
It's pretty cool. Although you're catching it in like 30 seconds. Like, oh, that's cool.
Oh,
yes, no.
Oh, this is awesome. Yeah. It's great getting old. Because then you can not enjoy everything that you did as a kid.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't get sick on rides. I'm very lucky. So what's your number 3?
I'm going to go with Haunted Mansion.
Okay.
The reason for that is it's supposed to be a spooky ride. You're going there at night, kind of going along with the horror theme.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
But I love that ride. I don't care if they never updated it again. It's so creepy, and I love waiting in line. I love when you go into that room and people have never been on it, and there's like,
ballroom scene?
Is this room actually haunted? Is this room stretching, or is it your imagination? It's just like, I don't know. I love that part.
It is a good one.
Of course, there's always my way. Like, that part's awesome. I love that. And it's like, Carissa always did that. It just makes me laugh. I don't know.
Right.
Like, the first time we ever went to Disney together, we went in that thing, and she did that, and I'm like, oh, she knows this. This girl's awesome. So, it was cool to see her kind of come out of her shell, and that was one of the first rides I got to actually know her, and like, oh, good, she's funny. She's not like serious or something. Like, because a lot of girls, I'm sorry, they're just not funny. They don't make me laugh. Carissa makes me crack up.
There you go.
A lot of people don't ever get to see that side of her where she's goofing around and doing different voices like me. So it's a good thing.
You got to marry those when you find them.
Yeah, I did. I snagged that one up.
No, dude, the Haunted Mansion is a great pick for a night ride. Just even walking into the mansion when you have to walk through the graveyard, that is so cool. Like, that's cool during the day. At night, it's incredible. Like, it does
they light
have
it up cool.
It's eerie feeling to it. Oh, I like it. I like it a lot.
And I don't know what it is, but the part where they have that stupid clock, you know, and they got the creepy hand going across. Ah, God, I love that part so much. It's like I have to watch it. And she can't stand the part where there's the floating candlestick. She's like always like afraid of that part.
The seance?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. No. That's in the attic.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about you look down a hallway and there's just like a floating candle.
Oh, really? She gets freaked out about that?
Yeah, a floating candelabra. Is that what it's called?
Candelabra.
Candelabra. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm terrible with
It's not a candlebra.
Candelabra?
Just picture
Say something to her. Cogsworth, does this look good on me? My boyish figure.
All right. My number 3 It's my first of 2 picks in this park. It's the safari.
Oh, I've never been on that at night.
Oh, it is so cool.
I would imagine they're not out.
You know what? Wait, what'd you say?
I would imagine the animals wouldn't be outside at night.
You'd think, but it's almost just the opposite, man.
Are a lot of them nocturnal?
Yeah, they
Disney's
are out
podcast?
and moving. They are out and moving, dude. Like they have, they even have hyenas that they have brought out for the nighttime.
What?
Yeah, dude, it is cool. Like the painted dogs and stuff, they look awesome. I was lucky enough to see some of those. A friend of mine went on it. And he said that when he went, they had to stop the truck. They had to stop the truck because there was a cheetah standing in the middle of the road. What? And I was like, oh. Wait, was it a cheetah? No, I'm sorry, not a cheetah. It was a rhino. A rhino was standing in the middle of the road.
We had one almost like run into our bus, and the girl didn't see it. Like a little girl screamed because she saw it like charging because there were, I think there were zebras in its little area.
Right.
And dude, this thing came out of nowhere, and I didn't know they moved that fast. And it started shaking the ground when it was running, and you just saw this thing was like doo, 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 and it just like ran, and it started chasing, and it started like moving its big horn or whatever.
Right.
It was like kind of intimidating. Like you don't realize how big those things are until you get. I mean,
massive.
you know that if that thing just decided to just crash into the truck, that thing's donezo. I mean,
it's coming through the truck.
Yeah, I've been so close that I could have reached out and grabbed one, but I know they probably would have kicked me out of the park.
Probably. It's probably for the best.
They're so cool though.
They are awesome.
So I really hope they get to kill all the poachers out in Africa. It's messed up what they do to the rhinos, man. They're just chilling there, and they're like, I'm gonna take your horn and crush it up from powder, and it'll supposedly cure cancer, but it doesn't.
Of course not.
It's just stupid. And the same with elephant tusks. Like what they do to elephants, they're the most like cool animals.
Oh yeah,
love elephants.
Me too. The safari at night though, it's really cool because you come over to the ridge. You actually take a different path than you do during the day. The only thing I don't like about it
is it shorter?
No, it's not shorter. They pump animal noises in.
Oh, that's kind of stupid.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
There's no monkeys here.
They have the baboons.
They do, that's right. Mm-hmm. Red booties.
Exactly.
Everybody say Jumbo.
When you come over this ridge and you go into the savannah area, it's cool. They have like this giant LED wall that makes it look like it's sunset all the time. When it's on the savannah, it's simulating sunset for the animals, and that's why they're out. They're confusing the animals. Now, I don't know what that does to their health. It's probably nothing good, but it's cool for me. And there's another part of it where they have lights shining down that simulate moonlight, and that's really cool. The moonlight lights that they have are awesome, to the point where I would buy them for my house.
That's pretty awesome. I had no idea about all this.
It's really cool, man. If you've never been to Animal Kingdom at night, go. It's getting to the point where they're closing down later.
I'd like to check that out because we've never been there at night, so we don't really know.
Dude, go. It's an experience like no other because it's not doing well. Like, Animal Kingdom at night is not doing the best.
I don't think enough people know that.
And that's exactly what it is. I don't think a lot of people know.
Yeah.
Like, right now, it's open till 11, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's probably empty after, like, 7.
It is. There's nobody there.
You could probably walk on Dinosaur and...
You can walk on Dinosaur, and Dinosaur is open. But to me...
Go on the safari ride.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, if you're going to be in Animal Kingdom at night, why not experience the night? Like, if you're on Dinosaur, you're inside, so it doesn't really matter.
And you can't say Guaharini.
Exactly. You cannot say... I mean, you can say Guaharini, but no one knows what you're talking about.
It's like pretty much saying Jumbo.
What's your number 2, buddy?
I'm going to go with Expedition Everest.
Have you ever been on it?
Yeah, I went on it at night. Just once.
Oh, really?
Just once. Yeah. I was with a group of friends, and it was a long time ago, and they had a special late opening.
Yeah.
And if you were staying in the hotel, you got to stay there till like 7, and it was kind of in the winter.
Right.
So
it was dark
6
already.
was dark, 7 was like pitch black, which I hate that about winter. Is like it gets dark way too early, and I feel like the days last for like.
Hush your tongue. I wish it got dark earlier. That's just we went to New York in 2014, and it was getting dark at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I was like, "This is the best." I loved it.
I like being able to wear winter clothes. I hate being stuck wearing shorts and jeans that are making me sweat all day long.
That's fair.
Yeah, I mean, it's great being able to wear winter clothes, and I think winter clothes look a lot cooler than just wearing sandals and t-shirts.
That's true. But nighttime is it's much better in general.
At Disney? Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Because it's not 1,000 degrees. Sometimes it is. July 4th weekend, don't ever go to Disney.
It's super hot and super crowded.
And it's so crowded that you can't breathe. I don't get claustrophobic. I have gotten claustrophobic on July 4th at Magic Kingdom. Dude, I know what people feel like. Like, I've been in really tight attics doing air conditioning with cockroaches crawling on me, which I thought I was filming Fear Factor or something. It sucked. This is just as bad. I hated being around that many people. They were sweaty, and they're like, touching you, and you're just like, you just want to get the heck out of there. So it's like anybody, if you're ever caught in that position where you're like stuck in the middle of a crowd or something, always go to the closest shops on Main Street at Magic Kingdom. Use the shops to navigate your way to the front of the park.
Yep.
Anybody that's a pass holder is going to know that. That's just common knowledge.
Both sides.
Both sides. They'll take you all the way to the back of the park.
No, I agree with you, man. I agree with you. Now, I'll be honest. Kind of upset because Expedition Everest is my number 1. Expedition Everest at night is like nothing else at Disney World. It is so excellent. Cool because that opening part where you go out and you make that corner, now you're riding through the garden area.
Yeah.
There's no lights there. There's nothing there. It's pitch black. The night that I went to Animal Kingdom, there's a full moon.
Ooh.
So when you came around that corner and now you're going up the mountain, you're going up the hill looking at the mountain, and it's got like a purplish tint to it it's lit up like that. And right to the left of it was a full moon. It looked so awesome.
Yeah.
Like, it looked imposing and it looked beautiful at the same time. You're like, oh.
Almost looked fake.
Yeah, exactly. But, man, it was awesome. And the sad thing is, you try to get a picture of that with your camera, doesn't work.
It makes it look like a tortilla.
Exactly. It doesn't look good at all. Doesn't look good at all. And it's very upsetting to me. But, in any case, yeah, Expedition Everest is my number 1. But it's okay. I'll forgive you. I have honorable mentions. I stole your number 2.
Well, hey, nothing wrong with that.
My number 2 is Thunder Mountain.
That's an awesome ride at night.
Yeah, it is. Thunder Mountain at night is fantastic. Because it's lit up, but just enough to not be too bright, not to lose the effect. And it's cool because then you can see like the different colored lights that they have popping out of the water. Like when you go underneath the dinosaur fossil. You know what I'm talking about? It's got like a purple tint right there or whatever. And it's really cool looking to me.
Have you been on Test Track at night?
I have.
That I think that was probably one of the coolest things I've seen.
Yeah, you think so? Test Track at night is awesome. The only reason it didn't make my list is because 99% of it is inside.
Yeah.
And that one little shot where you come flying out is awesome. It's really cool.
It feels like you're going 100 miles per hour and you're like going like 50 or something.
64.5.
64.5. Oh. It's awesome ride though.
64.5. It is. It's fantastic. I love that ride.
I've never been on the spaceship ride.
What?
The one
Mission
where you
Space?
spin around, right?
Yeah.
You spin around a bunch. See, I just can't do spinny rides because
it
makes me nauseous. That irritates me because when I was a little kid, that's all I did was spinny rides.
What was your number one?
Test Track.
Oh, Test Track is your number one.
I freaking love that ride at night. It's so cool.
Oh, okay.
Because
Very
you can
cool.
see all of Epcot.
That's true. That is cool. When you come out and then you make that corner and then you're looking back at World Showcase, all lit up.
If I had to add an honorable mention, I'd definitely do Spaceship Earth just because I love sleeping on that ride to Judi Dench's beautiful voice.
It is very soothing. It is one of the best voices I've ever heard.
Her voice is just butter. That's Carissa's favorite voice.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I actually have 3 honorable mentions for this because this is a great idea.
There's a lot of good rides to go on at night.
Splash Mountain is super cool at night.
And there's nobody in the line.
I know. And if you're lucky...
It's a long ride.
It is a long ride. But if you're lucky enough to like time it out correctly and get on there, when fireworks are going, you can actually watch the fireworks going off from Splash Mountain. And it is cool looking. It is awesome.
I wish you could do drones in Disney.
Oh, no way. My other 2 honorable mentions, Tower of Terror. Again.
Oh, dang it. That's what I totally forgot about Tower of Terror. That at night, so great.
It is cool, man.
And it's creepy.
It is creepy. And what's also cool about it is you can see all the light effects inside the shaft. Because there are a lot of light effects going on even during the day, but you can't see them because it's so bright inside the shaft. So I think that's really cool. My number 1 honorable mention is Dumbo.
Never been on it.
I know it's a spinny ride and all that kind of stuff. It's really cool. I mean, it doesn't change the ride in any way, except it looks beautiful. Just having all of the lights going on, like it's like a rainbow of lights coming out of the fountain, but then the fountain's shooting up water, so it looks like those streams of water have the lights in them still. It's cool looking. It's really awesome. You gotta check it out.
Okay.
Just don't ride it. Just go over there, look at it, appreciate it, and walk away. Maybe go
walk away.
Maybe go get a snack or something at Big Top Snacks or whatever.
That is an awesome. Carissa took me in there.
That's fantastic.
They got some awesome candy, and we ended up getting. I think we got a candy apple, the caramel. You know, that was pretty darn good.
All right. So my list from 1 to 5 is Expedition Everest, Thunder Mountain, the Safari, the Astro Orbiters, and the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. What is your list from 1 to 5?
Can I actually make? I'm gonna go with Tower of Terror for number 1.
Oh, you're changing up.
I am definitely changing up because that's what I was trying to think of it. I couldn't think of it. Definitely Tower of Terror is number 1 because if you go on that ride at night, it's stunning.
People, this is unprecedented. James has changed his number 1. It was Test Track. It is now Tower of Terror. So James, your number 1's Tower of Terror. What's your number 2?
I think it was Expedition Everest. Am I right?
Yeah.
And then number 3 was Haunted Mansion.
Right.
Peter Pan
was number 4. Now what we're going to do, everyone, is take these 10 rides and consolidate them into one top 5 list. So we're going to start with number 5. We have the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train versus the People Mover.
Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, easy.
Okay, very good. So for number 4, we have the Astro Orbiters versus Peter Pan. I'll give you Peter Pan on that.
I just love Peter Pan.
Right.
Only because it's such a hard ride to get on because the line sucks so bad. Going at night when the fireworks or parade is going on, you can walk right on. It's not that bad. You might wait 15, 20 minutes, but that's walking on Peter Pan.
Right. All right, so number 3, I had Safari, and then you had the Haunted Mansion.
I'm going to have to go with Safari because...
You think so?
The way you described it with the sunset and moonlight with
is
LEDs,
so cool.
That's pretty brilliant.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Haunted Mansion's fun to go on just because it's just creepy and you're going there at night. And it's
Yeah. All right, fair enough. So that's our number 3. Number 2, I'll knock out Thunder Mountain. I don't care. Let's put Everest there and put number 1 Tower of Terror. I mean, it's hard to beat it.
Dude, when those elevator doors will open up and there's all these lights going on and stuff.
It's freaking beautiful.
It's awesome. Have you been on there when there's a sunset?
No, I've never been on that sunset.
I've done that a couple times.
Yeah?
That is awesome. You get an excellent view of the sunset, but it'll blind you.
Yeah, I'm sure. It's like right in your eyeball. Just right there. All right, so our top 5 list for tonight for rides to ride at night. Number 1, we have the Tower of Terror. Number 2, we have Expedition Everest. Number 3, we have the Safari. Number 4, we have Peter Pan. And number 5, we have the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. All right, and that's going to be it for tonight. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Have a good night.
Adios.
And that's the end. For this week anyway. I wanted to thank you for listening, and I would typically tell you where you can find me to listen to me, but in my ongoing battle to figure out my new platform, I'm just going to say you can find me on iTunes. If you would be so kind as to like, favorite, and subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it. It does help me get up through the ranks so more people can find my show. And don't forget to head over to the Facebook page or my Instagram page and participate in this week's Disney Duel, which is going to be, do you want to see Disney refurbish their old monorails in Walt Disney World? Or do you want to see them scrap these and get a whole new fleet? I would love to know what you think. I'm kind of on the fence. Some people view the monorails right now as iconic. Some people just view it as a way to get from one spot to another. I'd love to know what you think. The results are in, by the way, from last week's Disney Duel. I'd like to thank everyone who participated. I really appreciate it. And I was kind of shocked by the results. 18 people said that they wanted to keep looking back, and 4 people said no, keep it pushing forward. Disney's always been built on nostalgia, so I guess it's a formula that kind of works for them. And that's going to do it for tonight. Thank you so much for listening, and until next Friday, this is Bryce saying have a great night, and may all your endings be happy, and, well, you know the rest.